Today we're going to make a difference in your day. At least we're going to try. Welcome to the Aired Out Podcast. I'm JD Green. You got us live on YouTube. You got us live on Facebook. We're streaming everywhere you get your podcasts. We're on the web at airedoutVT.com. Shout out this morning to Real Bounce. If you got a summer party, a plan, I don't know, maybe a graduation party or a family reunion, anything where you need a bouncy house, you need to bring the party to the next level. Realbounce.com. They bring the party to you. Get in touch with them, one of our presenting sponsors here at the Aired Out Podcast. Lots to talk about this morning. Good morning, by the way. It is Wednesday, June 17th. Welcome, new followers. National Eat Your Veggies Day today. And I posted up the Facebook question of the day. What's that one veggie that no matter how much salt and butter you're soaking it with, you just cannot put it down? That's the question of the day this morning. I'm going to ask my friend Winton that in just a little bit. First off, though, the World newspaper on a Wednesday. Deb Phillips with us. Good morning, Deb. How are you?
Good morning, JD. Doing good.
What's that vegetable, Deb, that you just can't stomach on this National Eat Your Veggies Day today? Is there one? Is it Brussels sprouts for you, Deb?
I don't know. I do like Brussels sprouts. I don't like okra or lima beans.
I forgot about okra. My dad used to do lima beans in the microwave, and we used to call them crunchies because they were still frozen on the inside. But anyway, Deb, it's so great to have you on the air every Wednesday. I loved reading The World last week. I know I'm going to love reading it again today. Chris will be here soon. It comes out every single Wednesday morning. Tell everyone, Deb, what's in there today?
We are chock full this week. We're congratulating 7 of our local high school graduates on their achievements. We also have this week gift ideas for Father's Day, money-saving coupons, the Your Good Health Directory. Plus, we have the Homeowner Service Guide with 15 local professionals to help you with your home improvement projects. And we have fireworks are on sale at North Star, so we can celebrate the America's 250th anniversary in style.
And the thing is, you don't wait until July 3rd to get the fireworks. Get them now.
Oh, yeah. They have a good selection, and and they're like 48% off. So they're quite a good deal.
It is a great deal. It's a great deal.
Yeah.
What else is in the world this week?
Barry Opera House has their theater summer camps coming up, and always well done, very well done. And that's a good chunk with the coupons. We have Casa Azteca has a lunch combo special, which is a really good deal. Lunch specials start at $9.99. You get a free soft drink, free chips and salsa, and it's good from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday to Friday.
I think I saw that in the last edition of the World, wasn't it?
It was June 4th edition.
Yeah.
We had that in there. Yes, and I've already used my coupon. It's a good deal.
Deb, if you ever want to go out to lunch, I'll treat you. I absolutely, when you say the words Casa Azteca, you have my full attention. I love it.
It's great.
That's fantastic. Deb, thank you ever so much. There's some great stuff going on. I reading about the 4th annual Worcester Arts Festival. I mean, there's everything is in the world.
Yeah. Well, this next week we'll have, all the different 4th of July celebrations will be in next week's paper.
I get so much information from you guys. We've got some great things happening in our community. Of course, the food trucks up at the Central Vermont Marketplace parking lot every Sunday, all summer long. We got Thunder Road Racing coming up tomorrow night. There's just tons of stuff. And tonight, Courier Park. right
Yes,
here in the Granite City. We got the food trucks, the concerts, we got the farmers market, all starting this afternoon, and the weather should be just fine for it.
I'm hoping that's a really fun thing to go to.
It really is. Thank you so much, Deb. Anything else you can think of this morning?
I'm good.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. You let us know if there's anything else that you can think of that we can promote this week, and we're on it.
All right. Thanks, JD.
Thank you, Deb. Deb Phillips from The World, right there, Central Vermont's favorite weekly newspaper. How do I know that? Not just because it says it right here, just because it is and has been for a long time. We're talking about almost as old as I am, 50 plus years. We'll just leave it at that. Winton Buddington is my guest this morning from Sweethearts and Heroes. He returns to the airwaves. Winton, good morning, my friend. How the heck are you?
Good morning, JD. I'm awesome today. How are you?
I'm great, man. So let me start out first by saying happy Wednesday, happy hump day to you, man. What's that veggie? What's that one veggie, Winton, that you just, no matter what you do to it, no matter what you sprinkle on it, you just can't put it down?
Yeah, initially I might have said Brussels sprouts, but I've really taken a liking to roasted Brussels sprouts that you cook them up with bacon and drizzle them with some honey
Yeah. Oh, honey.
and honey or maple syrup. And so I can't say Brussels sprouts anymore, but I'd have to go with the lima beans because we do have lima beans in our freezer, but I use them as the ice pack, not the vegetable. So
I love that, man. That's great. Oh man, Winton, just how the heck are you, man? Where are you right now?
well, it seems like every time we talk, I'm in a different place. So I'm actually out in Indianapolis, Indiana right now. My brother-in-law lives out here with his son, and my mother-in-law is out here now um, in an assisted living. And so we come out here as often as we can to spend a little time with them. And so we're out here tomorrow. We'll be driving back to New York. So,
You said Indianapolis?
yep.
Wow. Dude, that's awesome. What's the weather like out there?
Oh, it's been great. Today's a beautiful. Right now it's 65 and sunny. It's going to be a gorgeous day today. Low humidity. So
Yeah, we're at 63 with, I would say, mostly sunny skies right now. We're going to warm up about 10, but some weather coming in for tomorrow and Friday. Looks like possibly in the form of some thunder showers here. But let's jump in head first to Sweethearts and Heroes and what you guys are doing. I was having a conversation yesterday with someone, and they're like, "There's just so much going on with what is Sweethearts and Heroes." And that's a lot to unpack. You guys are, and Tom's at fault for that.
yeah.
There's just, you guys do so much. There's so much happening. We say the world's #1 student empowerment organization.
Yeah. It's been an amazing year for us. I think this year we had Josiah and Pat were booked pretty much every day up until this past Monday was the last visit in a school that we had scheduled for the year. So and Tom and Rick frequently every other week they were booked this year. So it's been an incredible year. And then with all of the electrical contractor circle work that we're doing now. And we had a partnership with the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office in New York and doing circles with their deputies and school resource officers. So it's been, we got a lot of different pieces going on.
So you guys at Sweethearts and Heroes aren't just saying, all right, school's out for the summer, we're all on vacation for the next couple of months.
No, we try to give everybody a little bit of a breather. in the summer, but we've got Joe's going to be working with a school district in their summer program. He's going to be doing a circle training for students for 6 visits over 3 weeks in their summer program, training the older students to run circles with the younger students. That's actually going to be up in Vermont at Johnson State and working with their summer trio students and the students that are helping run the bridge program for students coming into the college in August.
Wow.
Tom and Rick are actually next week. They're going to be back up in Alaska doing circles with the lineman electrical companies up in Alaska, and he's got a couple more of those type of trips this summer. Rick is going to be working with the Pennsylvania Free Enterprise group that he's done the last few years in Pennsylvania for 3 or 4 visits this summer. So it slows down a little bit, but it's still a busy time for us.
I would guess that Tom would have plenty to say to these line workers as we're approaching Father's Day, and understanding that many fathers are not able to be with their kids on Father's Day weekend, not able to be with their families. Like Kyle was saying, it's like, when we need line workers, we need them right now, no matter what is going on. Kind of like the military. It's it's the first priority in your life more than anything else.
Yeah, and you talked about, you might have some thunderstorms coming in. Interesting experience last week for me being out here in Indianapolis. We had thunderstorms and we had tornado sirens going off. And, we were trying to watch some of the Stanley Cup, and it kept getting interrupted for tornado warnings, which is not something I'd experienced before. But just thinking about, in those times when there are those disasters, that's the people that get in their trucks and get out there to try to get everything back the way it should be. So the linemen just drop everything and go no matter what.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of dads without their kids this weekend everywhere. I say across the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's, I don't have kids of my own, but as a principal for 14 years and 32 and a half years in education, I had 1,000 students in my building when I was principal. And so I looked at them like my own kids. And I think a lot of men struggle with that role of fatherhood, being that role model and being there to provide for their family and what we traditionally expect of them as men. But also, as we do our circle work, it's how do you also show that vulnerability? How do you show that side of you that we all have, but some of us just keep locked up?
Yeah. Josh Miller from Vermont Fatherhood comes in here the second Monday of every month, and we sit down and we talk just about fatherhood alone and what it means to be a father and the difference between being a father and being a dad. And the standards that we are held to, the expectations that we are held to. It's not easy. I was just a couple of nights ago, I was the only parent in the house for a little while, had chicken cooking on the grill, and had a little girl standing in the backyard with a softball glove on, a softball in her hand, staring at me while I was on the patio tending to the grill. Trying to get dinner right, but also the unspoken communication in someone's eyes is really intense. We'll just say that the chicken was a little crispy that night, but I got in a few catches, and sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to. You got to do what you think is right at the time, and reprioritize.
And those moments in education, we call them teachable moments to take advantage of, that present themselves that you might not have fully planned for, but it's the moment you need to take advantage of, to have that time with that ball flying back and forth, and a conversation at the same time, you know?
Exactly. This weekend, we have a few more graduations that are pending. This is a big time in so many lives. There's all kinds of different graduations. We're graduating from high school, and we're getting ready for that major gear shift in life, whatever it may be, whether it's college or otherwise, whether we're jumping into the workforce. Graduating from college, whole nother story. And graduating from middle school into high school, elementary school into middle school. This is a time of transition. It's a time of excitement for many students. It's a time of pride for many families, for the graduate. What's some of the messages that you think Sweethearts and Heroes hopes that these graduates will resonate with as they shift into the next gear, whatever that may be, whatever stage that might be in life? What are some of the primary things that you're like, we worked with these schools, we worked with these kids through the year, whether it was anti-bullying, whether it was understanding what hope is, being a better person, listening better, whatever it might be, we're hoping that these kids are going to carry the torch and remember these things and exercise what they've learned in their next chapter.
Yeah, what immediately comes to mind is hope. And for us, hope stands for hold on, possibilities exist. And you don't know what that's going to look like. You're graduating college, you don't know what the job's going to be. And if you have a job that you're headed to, that you don't know everything that's going to happen there. And maybe that's not, we don't necessarily have 30-year careers in businesses and industries anymore. People move around. So there's that message of hold on, possibilities exist for something better and different and engaging for us, is one that we hope students really carry with them as they move on through life. And the second one is that everybody has superpowers. You have talents, you have powers that you can tap into that make you unique in who you are. And those are the powers that allow you to step up and be there for somebody else when they're struggling and help somebody through a difficult situation. And it's really that sense of curiosity and awareness and connecting with other people that we try to help students build through the circle work as well, to build that sense of community. So wherever they find themselves, whether it's in a college dorm with new people, there's a new community to explore and get to know people and tap into your superpower to do that. Whether it's just going to the next grade level, going to middle school, that middle school transition, I actually think it's harder on parents than it is on kids. Kids are looking forward to it, and their parents are seeing their little babies grow up and take a step away from them when they kind of go into middle school and want to be with their friends a little bit more. So, but those possibilities exist too, and parents can hold that message for themselves as well.
Yeah, powerful stuff there, man. But I want to kind of take a little bit of a deeper dive on the subject of hope.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend yesterday who had some very bad news that came into his life. And he was very upset, discouraged, sad, not really feeling a massive amount of hope in his life at the time. And, I was thinking when I was speaking with him about a message that your colleague, Rick Yarish, who was burned alive in Iraq from a roadside bomb, covered in diesel fuel, broken leg, literally his whole body on fire, 60% of his skin burned off, years of rehab. And, literally, his ears, his fingers burned off. This guy's not only carrying himself through life with 60% of his body burned, but also an artificial leg. And his message to me, something that has always resonated with me, I know you've heard the same thing from Rick, is, and I was trying to push this yesterday with my friend, that Rick reminds us that bad things will always happen to us. But think of some of these things in life that happen, whether they're suddenly or whether we're expecting them to happen. Maybe someone that's dying, maybe something that we're in the process of losing. Loss is very, very hard to process, and sometimes we're never really able to fully process it. But think of these events in your life as opportunities to be on the other side of them and to look back at them in the rearview mirror and say, I got through it. I'm still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it sucked. And it's probably going to stay with me forever. But I have hope in that I will be able to withstand the next event that presents itself to me. And I was trying to push this yesterday, and I don't know if I'm finding the right words here or not. I think you know what I'm talking about, though, Winton.
Yeah, and it's as it's that mindset that today's not great. Today might be awful. Today is that moment of grief, but it's that mindset that that's not going to be forever like it is today. That tomorrow is going to be different, and there's different possibilities tomorrow than there are today, and we just have to keep that mindset and to move through. And when we go through those challenges that we face in life, the loss, the heartache, the heartbreak, as we move through them, we grow and we change because we've persevered through that hardship, and we come out in a different place, and that different place leads us to different opportunities. And though we can't see those opportunities where we are now because we're not in that place. We're not, sometimes I think about it as that, I like being out in nature and hiking, and you spend the time struggling to hike up the mountain and your view changes. You can see things that you couldn't see when you were down in the valley.
Yeah.
And that's one of my mindsets for when I'm going through a struggle is, this is climbing up that next hill, that next mountain. And the one thing I know is when I get there, the view's going to look different. And that's that hold on, possibilities exist, because there's going to be something different when you get to tomorrow.
Yeah.
You might run into it. Might it be as simple as running into a different person in the grocery store that says something to you, and it totally changes something for you.
See,
You don't know.
I'm real glad you're saying this right now, because I also know, especially the fact that you're in Indianapolis right now, you're not aware, at least I don't think you are, that we've had here in Vermont, we've had a particularly rough couple of weeks in the news with some real pain and heartache. We've had several fatalities on our roads.
Mm-hmm.
Local people that are well known and well loved. Young girl, 26 years old, crashed her motorcycle. She's no longer with us. Just recently. A few days later, a father, 2 kids, 8 years old and 2, hit head on. The kids didn't make it. The father did. And I called the other day. I called Tom to just tell him, hey, man, we got some heavy stuff that we're carrying around here in central Vermont right now. It is fair to say that many Vermonters who are grieving right now aren't feeling a huge amount of positivity and hope right now.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we just have to say, this sucks, and it will always suck. This will never turn into anything positive. We can have fundraisers. We can begin scholarships. We can create annual events around some of these horrible things that have happened. And we have in the past. But it's okay to say, you know what, we're just never going to get over this. We need to hold each other close. We need to rethink the way we carry about our days. We need to make sure that we're spending the amount of time that we need to spend with our family and our friends. We need to make sure that we end phone calls with, I love you, if you love that person. We need to just stop and take a deep breath. I mean, I just had a father in here not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago. He'll be back in tomorrow, whose son, sober for 6 years. 6 years. Everything's going great for him. Has a relapse and overdoses and dies. I mean, and I'm trying to tell Tom this on the phone. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. There's a lot of great things going on. There's a lot of great stuff that's happening. I was just talking about what's happening in Courier Park and our community and just getting together and being with one another. But there's some really, really heavy stuff that's happening right now. I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know if the planets are aligned, but it's almost like Vermonters are almost afraid to check the news. It's like every day or every other day, man. And listen, you know me, Winton. I'm not trying to be negative Nancy here. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm just saying, how do we find the hope that we're going to get through this and that tomorrow's going to be better? How do we do that?
Well, I think it's finding those moments and for gratitude. And I think back to, you mentioned Father's Day, and I was 25 when my dad passed away. So we're over 36 years ago. 36, I don't know, I can't do my math right now, but over 30 years ago. And I still find those moments. He built the house I grew up in, and my allowance growing up was doing work on the house, whether it was putting a drop ceiling in or wiring a plug, and I still find those moments for that gratitude when I'm doing a project for the skills that he taught me all those years ago. And all of those people that have been with us that are no longer with us have left us those gifts of gratitude. And part of the way that I get through things is to think about those moments and cherish those moments of gratitude for the joy they brought us when they were with us. And that keeps them, to some degree, for me anyway, with me, and helps me move through the things that I need to move through. Because everybody is struggling with different things. Some are extremely tragic in the loss of a life one way or another. Others are our own challenges and expectations we put on ourselves that we may or may not be meeting. And it's the way through is to find those moments of gratitude and positivity and express them.
Yeah. Yeah, don't tap the brakes. Get right out there and express them. Brian McKeon has sat on this couch several times right here next to me. And he's a gratitude guy. Mm-hmm. Practices it by verbalizing it every day. Goes for a walk and lists off the things that he's gracious for in his life.
Yep.
And some of these things, and we've talked about this, are right in front of us that we, for whatever reason, we're comfortable with it. It's the norm. We take it for granted. It's just going out to the garden last night for me.
Yep.
For me, barefoot, planting the rest of the vegetables and water in the garden, and looking up at a beautiful twilight sky while I was doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Little things like that. But we're so clogged up and fogged up in our minds, preoccupied, distracted with so much in our lives that just really doesn't have a whole hell of a lot of substance to it. Winton, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah, it's those things that, we had a little bit of rain last night. My brother-in-law has a nice covered porch, and just sitting out there, I was thinking, this is a beautiful night.
Right.
The rain's coming down. I'm thinking, yeah, the flowers are getting watered. The grass is getting what they need. And it's just being grateful for those little things, that first sip of coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Is an opportunity just to express gratitude for the morning and the day.
Yeah. Just waking up.
Yep.
And beginning your day. And it may not always begin right and wonderful, but we've got a day in front of us to do and to choose however we want to spend it. I want to great stuff, Winton. I want to talk about, before we close out this morning, about your thoughts on the art, and I don't know if that's the right word, or maybe the skill, and maybe that's not the right word either. I don't know, about listening to others.
Mm-hmm.
You and I both have had conversations about this before, that and we both have said, and you've told me several times, that there is a world of difference between listening and hearing. Hearing is biological. Listening is something that is so much beyond that. It is so hard to listen to others when you've got your own echo chamber going on in your head. You know you're right. You know that this is the way that others should think about this, should see it, and that, frankly, if they're not aligned with how you see it, they're grossly missing the ball. So how is it possible for us to shut up and listen, truly listen to what someone else is saying, or listening to their body language?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about behavior as a form of communication, our body's language and how we move and carry ourselves are a form of communication. And I think really for listening is, for me anyway, it's about humility in some ways, in that if I really am listening to somebody else, I'm getting myself out of the way. Oftentimes somebody starts talking and we're already in our head formulating what we want to say.
Yeah.
And how we want to jump in, or somebody is sharing their experience. You're talking about cooking on the grill and playing catch with your daughter, and I might be tempted to want to jump in and share, oh yeah, I had this great chicken the other night and we did this and we did, but if I'm really listening to you, I'm getting myself out of the way. My story isn't the one that needs to be important right now. It's your story. And, in our circle practice, that's really the key role of the talking piece. Is if you have the talking piece, you get to share. And if you don't have the talking piece, you need to be listening. And oftentimes people will cut each other off to share their side, and they want to share what they did that's related to that topic or question. And they're not really letting somebody finish. Yeah. And they're not really listening to somebody to understand what they're saying. Because sometimes the words people use are not really what they're saying. There's a message that they're communicating that's beyond those words, but they can only get it to that word level at that point. So that's really, the art of listening is really kind of, for me, getting yourself out of the way and being present with that person in what they're saying and how they're saying it.
You know what I've realized? I've realized that I'm a better listener when I'm on the air, significantly better when I'm on the air, and significantly poor at it when I'm not on the air. And I need to do a much better job, not just with my wife and not just with my little girl, but also with my friends. And you're right. I mean, while they're speaking, you've got your script. It's plugged in and ready to go in your head. We just got a comment here saying hearing is just acknowledging the words someone says. Listening is to actually understand them. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's
not
so
an
much.
easy thing to do, man.
No, and there's so much to that understanding because it comes with the person's tone and their um, body language and everything to that understanding. Why do you think you're a better listener on the air?
I don't know. I think it's because I'm plugged in and I'm live.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a greater pressure for me during a live interview like we're having right now. And you know, in real life off the air, which whew, that's a whole nother planet. There's just so much that's being said and so much that's happening, and trying to work out the schedule. What about that birthday party this weekend? We got the Mountaineers game we're going to also. What are we having for dinner tonight? I mean, there's just so much that's difficult to filter through.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, and I think another part of listening is that connection piece. Is that when I think sometimes people interrupt because they're trying to make that connection and share their story that relates to somebody else's story so that they can see that they have a shared story and a shared connection and a shared.
Yeah.
But
we've all met
it's
those people, Winton, that were like, oh yeah, I had the same thing happen to me at one time at band camp. We've all heard that. And the one-uppers too. That's a whole nother episode. We're not going down that road today, Winton. But yeah, man, it's not easy. And Tom has talked a lot about this before. And you can see Tom's his eyes and his brain and what's going on when he's listening. He is very good at zipping his lip, especially in circle. But you can see in his eyes that he's processing, and he's got 1,000,001 follow-up questions.
Yeah.
And comments, not just questions, comments too.
He's looking for those connections among all of the people in circle in response to the question. And sometimes they're not obvious. Sometimes they're a little layered deep, and he's unpacking that in his mind as he's listening. And, as we're talking this morning, and, we're talking about people that have gone through struggles and are dealing with the loss and things. And that's it. Listening to them is important. And asking a question about what are some of the positive stories that somebody that may not be with us, what are some of the positive memories with that person, and really be present with them while they're talking is one of the ways that we kind of take their hand and help them continue to move through the grief and the sadness that they're currently in, to see that there are some possibilities that exist.
Wow. Right now, we are approaching, we're over the halfway point of June. The school years are finishing up if they haven't already finished. Sweethearts and Heroes is going to be very active this summer, working with line workers and different businesses and companies and speaking engagements and so on and so forth. But what about schools next year? What about the schools that want to renew their contracts with you guys? They want you back. By the way, thank God for all of the North Country Chevy dealers who are supporting you guys and making sure that there isn't a school out there that says, we just can't have Sweethearts and Heroes. We can't afford it. because we got all these North Country Chevy dealers working together, pulling together, saying, don't worry about it. We're going to get you there because it's that important. But what about schools that not only want to have you back, but also haven't yet discovered Sweethearts and Heroes and what they can do for their students, for their administration next year? We want to have you. We're thinking about it. We have some questions. What do they do right now, Winton?
So the best way is you go on sweetheartsandheroes.com, and there's a contact form on there. And then that contact form will come into us, and I'll set up a time to meet via Zoom or a phone call and talk about our programs and services, and we'll figure out what's going to work best for the school.
All right.
We have a range from our presentations to our circle visits to training students to training staff in circle. We have our online lessons and resources. So there's a lot of different ways that we can help support schools. And our calendar, we're booking for next year. I'm in the process of confirming right now with a lot of schools that we talked to in the last month or so that we got tentative things on the calendar, and they were waiting for school budgets and things to be approved. So I'm spending a lot of time now circling back to those schools saying, okay, are we a go for this date? Can I make it confirmed on our calendar? And so we're booking next year right now. But if anybody has a question, just wants more information, and whether you're a school, whether you're a business or industry, because like we've been talking about, we do our circle work with lineman groups. We do our circle work with sheriff's offices, any place that you've got a staff and a group together. Circle, Tom, when he ran his restaurant, did circle with his restaurant staff, and it brought the restaurant staff closer together, and they were more productive, and it turned his business around just by doing circle. Wow. And building that connection. So whether you're a school, whether you're an industry, we're happy to have a conversation to see how we can help you get to and create the kind of culture and climate for wherever you are.
Yeah. Great stuff, man. Sweetheartsandheroes.com. We'll always link it up. We'll always share and push your message. And, you know, we've been doing this for about 2 years now. Every single Wednesday, Sweethearts and Heroes Day here at the Aired Out Podcast. Promoting being better, doing more for your community. Your the anti-bullying campaign that you have instilled in schools is second to none.
And at its core, you know, we're about teaching the human skills.
Yeah.
You know, how to connect, how to treat each other with dignity, how to listen to each other. That's the core of our programs, and we're gonna keep working with it and taking advantage of the opportunities that present themselves, because the same for us. We hold on to the possibilities that exist. I don't know all the schools we're going to be in next year. I don't know all the places and people we're going to get to talk to and interact with, but I know they will be there. And I know it will be awesome when we get a chance to meet the wonderful people that we will next year and begin to hear some of their stories.
Dude, I have never met you in the flesh, but I feel like I know you so well. We've just connected virtually so many times. And when I do meet you, bro, you got a big old bear hug coming your way. Free, no charge. Free hugs.
Likewise, I'll have to see if I can work Barry, Vermont into my travels as I go forth here. So
we got a big old couch waiting for you right here with a microphone right on it. Thanks, dude.
Thank you for having me.
Super rest of your day, all right?
You too.
Winton Buddington right there. Love that guy. Want to say big shout to Fecto Homes. They have been getting Vermonters into their forever homes for a long time. We're talking about since the 70s. Been a presenting sponsor here at the Aired Out Podcast and a supporting sponsor here at the Aired Out Podcast for a very long time. Built by local families for local families. See the prefab, the new construction, townhouses, and homes right up close. They've got some display models over there at 350 River Street in Montpelier that are ready to go. Find your view and move into a new home. Yeah, with Fecto Homes, fectohomes.com. If you want to schedule a little meet with them, maybe a tour of some of their properties. Also want to give a shout out this morning to Optical Expressions. These glasses right here, designed by Will over at Optical Expressions, I've been wearing on the air for years. Frankly, it would, at times, I can take them off. And at times, I cannot, depending on what I'm doing. It would be a nightmare. I'm glad I haven't lost these. They stay right here at this studio. But Optical Expressions, presenting sponsor of the Aired Out Podcast for, I don't know, very, very, very long time. 7 out of the 8 years, I think, that we've been on the air. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 to 6 in their new location, the 4th floor of the Blanchard Block, right here in the Granite City. Find them on Facebook. Find them on the web at oeberlin.com, 223-2090 to set up and schedule an eye exam. Optical Expressions. Happy birthday today to Loretta Mattoon Wilson. She's on the list. Lori Lawless, happy birthday to you as well. Jeff James, really enjoyed having Lori on the air. Jeff James, happy birthday to you. Sean Lincoln, who else? Maria Skinner. Amy Noyes, there's a rock star. Kelly Foy, happy birthday. Brandon Huntington. Chris Tuller. Bruce Fowler. Brittany Earl, Allison Jackman, Camden Hutchins. These are all folks celebrating birthdays today. Amanda Gay Kelly, Marion Jobin, Donna Davis. Holy moly. Is that it for today? Yeah, it is. We've got a couple of celebrity birthdays, too. Who did I see? Did I see Kendrick Lamar? I think I did on the list. I did. 39 today. Wow. Thanks to Deb Phillips from The World for hopping on the air with us this morning. She does every Wednesday, gives us a little snapshot of what's happening in and around the Granite City. Looking at North Main Street right now. Busy traffic. Got people enjoying some of the sunshine on the park bench right here next to me. I love it. Community calendar. Yes, Gino reminding us, and we talked about this earlier this morning, and I'm going to take a dive into the community calendar right now. We talked about what's happening in Courier Park today, and we're going to talk about it again right now. The food trucks, the farmers market, the live music, Courier Park tonight. Gino's going to be over there with the Heading Church. Great people doing great things. Grab some of their signs. Gino, you owe me a couple of signs for the window here on North Main Street. And, Gino, if you're listening, you owe me some airtime too. You better get in here. Sit down. Chew the fat with me. Hang out. Wing Wednesday is on over at the VFW Post 790 in Barrie at 5 o'clock tonight. Stopped off there a few nights ago during the men's horseshoe league They had burgers on the grill and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, the funniest thing. JD, come on, get over here. Let me tell you, I would throw one horseshoe on your team, and I would throw it 4, maybe 5 feet on a good day. And that would be the end of my run on your horseshoe league team. Anyway, Thursday we got Racing Under the Lights tomorrow at Thunder Road. Flying Tigers, Triple Crown, 7 o'clock. Not sure about the weather on that. I'll be watching it carefully along with you because it's not supposed to be great. Just relax. We'll be okay. We might get it in. Friday, Father's Day weekend. Wow. Can I say the words car shows? Yes, I can. Mayo Healthcare has theirs on Friday in Northfield from 11 to 2. The barbecue's going to be going. It's going to be great. 802 Meats. They've got theirs going on every Friday at the I think at the Park and Ride in Williston. I got to get Cyrus back on. They're doing great stuff over there in Burlington. What else? Friday. Toy Story 5 premiere Paramount Twin right here in Barrie. I'll be there, plugged in, live streaming, talking with you while you're waiting in line, getting your tickets, or maybe you're getting in advance at fgbtheaters.com. I don't know. Get your popcorn. Get the Cabot butter on there. Get a drink. Come on indoors. Toy Story 5 Friday night, live streaming. Right out front of the Paramount is where I will be. Please come. Give me a hug. Yeah, Gino saying Pastor Ray might be up at Courier Park. Whew. Pastor Ray and I have played an amazing game of phone tag. She won. I hope to meet her soon. Maybe tonight. Also, this weekend, kicking off Friday, the Quechee Balloon Festival. I hope the weather's going to cooperate so they can get that in. It's so much fun. We went a couple of years ago. I just loved it. Saturday, Lacing Up for Cancer. Thanks to Erica Scott for coming on the air with me for over 2 decades. They've been doing this, the Lamoille Area Cancer Network. Pulling together a lot of money. We're talking about $3 million that they've raised over the last 20 years. To do what with? To give to Vermonters, to help them while they're going through treatment. That's amazing. The walk is happening on Saturday. People's Academy. Get up there, walk for the fighters, walk for the survivors, walk for the ones that we miss every single day. Be there, if you can, on Saturday for that. You don't need to pre-register or anything. Just get up there. LACE, LACNVT.org. You want to put it in the comment? Link it up right now. I'll put it in the comments so you can see. Click on it. Follow them. Follow them on Facebook as well. Sunday. Is today Wednesday? Oh, my God. Sunday. JD, why are you talking about Sunday on a Wednesday? Well, because these are the kinds of things you need to be thinking about. You need to start planning your weekend right now. There's so much going on in Central Vermont, and so much of it is more than good. It's great. They got the food trucks over at the Berlin Mall on Sundays. I know some of you are saying Central Vermont Marketplace. Others are saying Berlin Mall. Either one. Don't care. You know where it is. Get up there Sundays. Every Sunday, all summer long, from noon to 7. Food trucks up there. if you'd like to be a vendor, I'm going to give you a phone number here. It's Annie Riley, and her number is 272-1066. Dropping that into the comments, too. See? You don't even have to take notes. Call Annie. Tell her you'd like to be a vendor for the food trucks. Let's see. Deb Phillips this morning was talking about the Barrie City Rec Department bringing back their summer camps. There's just get on their page, man. Barrie City Rec Department. Get on the page. We got the second annual Downtown Barrie Wing Walk that's coming up on the 27th. Oh, on the 24th. That's next weekend, right? Think it is. Jenny Brook Bluegrass Festival in Tunbridge. 25th annual. It's going to be amazing. All-star lineup, huge. It's going 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, and the 28th. That's a lot of bluegrass. If you love bluegrass, the place to be is in Tunbridge. JennyBrookBluegrass.com. Thank you, Taylor. I was afraid I would forget. Taylor made sure that wouldn't happen. The Father's Day chicken barbecue at the East Barrie Fire Station. It's Sunday. Got to get that into my notes. I'm sorry that one slipped by me. Ugh. It's a big one. How long have they been doing that anyways, Taylor? Do you know? Franken long-ass time. Long time. You can smell the chicken from that Father's Day barbecue at the East Barrie Fire Station. I think you could probably smell that chicken in China. Especially if you got a day that's a little windy. Holy moly. Everything everywhere smells great. I want to tell you about a couple of things here happening in July, and I know it's a ways away. This morning, Winton and I were talking about a lot of things. If you missed it, go back and give it a re-listen. But a lot of what we talked about is how many of us are grieving. And, you know, we don't even have to know personally these folks that have perished recently in some of these tragic accidents on our roadways here in Vermont. Just reading the stories, just seeing it in the feed of Facebook is enough to impact us. And there's been a lot of it, and it's heavy. Central Vermont Home Health and Hospice has a grief support group that is going to go for 6 weeks. I'm going to give you a phone number here to register for it. I believe that it's virtual. You can join from your phone. You can join from your laptop, from home, wherever. This is really important stuff here. And there's nothing that's saying that you have to commit to all 6 weeks. I'm going to put this right in the comments right now. If this is something that can help you, I want you to be able to jump at it right there. 223-1878 to register. And it starts up July 7th. Again, runs for 6 weeks. No charge. Do it. The other thing. Tomorrow, right here on Aired Out, Vincent Arbusio, Sr., is going to be coming back and sitting on the couch. This is the father whose son just overdosed and passed away in Randolph, or Royalton. He's going to be on the couch with me tomorrow with an amazing follow-up to his first interview with me, and he's going to be talking about something that he has organized, that he was alluding to that he wanted to do. Well, it's 100% now. It's going to happen at Vincent's Campground in South Royalton. Vincent's Battle of the Bands, July 11th. I don't know what you got planned for July 11th, but rethink it. Put this at the top of your priority list. It's going to be unbelievable. He's going to be in here tomorrow. He's going to tell you all of the bands that are going to be there. I think Both Thayer's one of them. I think we're going to have another musician who's going to be with Vincent tomorrow here on the couch. This is one not to miss tomorrow. Trust me. Vincent's Battle of the Bands. If you haven't seen the poster, you will. It's on the Aired Out page. Please share it. It's going to be a big deal. That's on July 11th. July 12th, we have a couple of things going on. In addition to the Upper Valley Cars and Coffee car show that's happening at the Powerhouse Mall in West Leb, which is going to be a huge deal, we have the grand opening of the new Restore. It is going to be not at the Big Lots building, which I screwed up and told everyone that it was. It is not going to be in the Joann Fabrics building, like some people are still saying. It is going to be in the Advance Auto Parts building in that plaza in Berlin. July 12th. 11 a.m. for the grand opening. I'll be there, and I'll bring you there with me if you can't make it. I'll show you around with a live stream. We'll do a few interviews. There's going to be live music. It's going to be a great time. July 12th. Again, that's a Sunday. I would love to see you there. Whew. Taylor, thanks for reminding me about the Father's Day chicken barbecue. God, I can't believe there's just so much going on. I can't believe I forgot about that. Hey, thanks to Travis Payette for hopping on the air with me the other day. I found him. I tracked him down. Iron Order Motorcycle Club doing a kids' free bicycle giveaway on July 25th at Summer Street Tavern. Travis and the rest of the Iron Order Motorcycle Club Rock Solid crew went out and purchased 22 new bicycles. Purchased them outright, and then purchased outright 22 helmets to go with those new bicycles. And they're going to be giving you kids, a chance to win every single one of them at 5 o'clock on Saturday, July 25th, again at Summer Street Tavern, right there in the parking lot. Free entry, doesn't cost anything. Getting kids on bicycles. I think it's fantastic. If you haven't seen this poster online, I'll tell you where you will see it. Right in the window here on North Main Street at the Aired Out Studios. Super, super cool stuff. I'll see you around. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Maybe see you Thursday night at Thunder Road. Flying Tigers. If the weather cooperates. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Be kind. Take a deep breath. Take care of yourself. And if it means that the chicken on the grill is going to burn a little bit because you've got bigger and more important priorities, do just that. We'll see you tomorrow morning, right here, where you are now. Central Vermont's podcast, Aired Out.